Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and coin factory family? Welcome back again to another daily Casper and crypto live stream. And we have potentially confirmation of the next breakout and leg up for crypto. We got some macro news coming through earlier today, which was fundamentally more positive than we expected. And equally, we got some interesting other macro news and Casper updates as well. I'm sure, as people have already seen, I uploaded a video on this channel a few hours ago, kind of delving a little bit more into what we spoke about yesterday in the live stream about potential listings on the horizon. And we're going to touch on that a little bit in today's stream as well, about how we're seeing more mistreatment of Casper at play, but at the same time, for me, I'm not too worried. I still think actually it's a good thing that we're seeing them now talking more about Casper, which is a good thing. And we've got obviously the development on the horizon and equally some KII updates as well. Some good and weirdly some bad ones as well. But as always, if you enjoy the daily content, leave a like, share with your friends and subscribe for more. And welcome back everyone again to the channel. Cryptoni brother, welcome back first. Great to have you here, brother. Crypto goes to you too, my man. Second indeed, slacking a little bit, but you are here. Good to have you back, brother. Doing very, very well today. Welcome back, Falco, and you too, Buffalo Theory. Having a great day. Hopefully you all are so far, and hopefully get a lot better very, very soon. So to start off with the stream today, I want to firstly cover some of the negative macro news. Welcome back, John Doe, bro. You're doing very, very well today. I want to cover some of the negative macro news, but ultimately why I am not too worried. And in fact, I will, again as a courtesy, I will leak one of my alpha documents that I showcase to my VIPs on Sunday. So further playing into my belief of why I'm not worried about what this currently means. So we can see right here from the KYC letter, it's like clockwork. Trump delayed the 50% EU tariffs until the 9th of July. So of course his announcement that happened on the Friday, we did see a massive pullback, roughly 4 to 5% in Bitcoin. It was at all-time highs, around $112,000, and then came back down to 107. And since then, Bitcoin has been forming green candles every single day, which is really good to see, making that back. But we did expect to see some form of pullback today, and we did see one today, but then Trump did make a big announcement regarding Bitcoin, which I'll get to that again later on. But either way, we saw that announcement, and then Trump halted that, which is now, again, while we still worry about tariffs for the most part, again, as you pay attention to the markets, Trump announced or implemented the tariffs worldwide, on the 5th of April, which on that day you saw a massive downwards candle, came down 10% in Bitcoin. And then since that 10% correction in Bitcoin, since the tariffs have, still been floating about, we've seen over a 50% rally in Bitcoin. So understand this, that while tariffs, there's still quite a lot of uncertainty around them, especially from an investor side of things, but evidently they are not too bad for financial markets. If anything, they haven't affected it at all. We are at a higher point now than beforehand. So I'm not worried about tariffs in the slightest, but we can see here, going back to the post here, not just Trump delayed the 50% EU tariffs until the 9th of July, we also then have seen a lot of volatility, and quite bad volatility, in the yield and bond yield markets as well. The 10-year note yield instantly rose back above 4.55%. Now, for me, this is a very interesting and critical factor. The bond yields are consistently getting more and more out of control, rallying higher, which is a sign of a stagnating economy and equally a sign of economic uncertainty. So during this, when the bond yields are high, you typically see more investment into the bonds as opposed to, more investment into safe havens as opposed into on-risk assets like crypto. So this could cause a cause for concern for crypto. We are seeing increasing stagflation right now, which was also confirmed in the macro news today with the durable goods. I'm not sure if anyone has paid attention to that, but the durable goods did come back, showcasing that while it was better than expected, it's still a bit sluggish, a bit bearish. And we can see even here, continuing on, the unrealized losses on domestic bonds holding for 4 of Japan's largest life issuers rose to a record $60 billion in Q1 2025, which is 4 times more than unrealized losses seen in Q1 of 2024. So right now, Japan, the world's 6th largest life issuance company and one of the biggest economy in the world, the M2 money supply is consisted of Japan as long as 4 other national powers as well. We are seeing the economy, the financial system of Japan is on the edge. It's in a massive dire situation right now. The 30 and 40-year bonds have seen one of the most violent price declines in history, which is, again, it's a complete issue right now. It's a very big issue, and during these periods of time, that's why you've been seeing, these safe havens like gold, for example, continuously make these rallies upwards. Of course, it's not at all-time highs, but it's close to that. Gold is being deemed a safe haven, so people are investing more and more into gold. But with me saying that, I'm going to showcase one of my institutional documents, which, again, if you want to know a hell of a lot more about what we cover in the VIP group, from trades to educational videos to our weekly alpha live streams, and then equally the alpha information we cover in that as well. You can check it out down below in the description, and equally get a 7-day free trial as well, www.wop.com/coinfactory. But we can see here, as I'm loading up this document here, this comes from Signum. We can see here the monthly investment outlook that just came through May 2025 from Signum Bank, which is one of the leading institutions in the crypto space, also trying to help to bridge to TradFi as well. They have made some very, very huge documents, very good understanding of what's going to come to crypto, ultimately why my stance on Casper and crypto is still so very bullish. They go into a very brief summary here, but for me, the parts that are important here: safe haven assets are likely to remain in demand, as even under an improved macro scenario, which it has improved, it's still not the best, but still improving, there's still a tremendous risk and uncertainty that still remains. But in saying that, if we go right down here, we can see here, meanwhile, economic necessities and pushbacks from leading US corporations are leading to an increasing number of carve-outs from the China tariffs, and recently China also announced certain carve-outs. This suggests a gradual normalization, and as the market's already discounted a negative scenario, any improvements from here, coupled with expanding liquidity, would be sufficient for a bull market in risk assets to resume. So meanwhile, while safe havens are still likely to remain in demand, we are seeing, in least regarding crypto, that most of the negative sentiment, the negative developments like the tariffs, these sort of stuff, they've been priced in already. So the market has already priced in the worst case scenario, the macro stress, the tariffs. Of course, any of those bearish sentiments that come out will still cause pullbacks because investors are emotional. So it makes sense. So if you see the PCE data coming out, the report coming out on the Friday, and that comes out bearish, then that could definitely cause an outbreak in the market and a big, big pullback. But for the most part, majority of the worst case scenarios have been priced in. Liquidity conditions are improving, and again, according to Signum, it would only take marginal improvements, a very, very small amount, to trigger a full risk-on bull cycle, which of course means crypto, means equities, it means a lot more as well. And they also highlight that Bitcoin increasingly decouples. Ultimately, in this section here, it also highlights that Bitcoin, and therefore crypto, is also being deemed more and more as an investment of safe haven. Which, again, if you look at the markets, it's starting to look that way. Of course, there was worries when we had the Bitcoin reserve coming out, and now it's been seemingly stagnated because Bitcoin had a massive dip following all the negative sentiment, and then the politicians and government are like, well, if Bitcoin actually digital gold, if it's coming back so volatile, it's so volatile right now when when gold is rallying. But Bitcoin has made a massive recovery and then some a little bit since then, and it's due to start rallying much higher much sooner. So Bitcoin's seemingly trying to repeg itself back to gold effectively, in a sense. So it looks like Bitcoin is more and more, and therefore crypto, for the most part, it's being deemed more and more as a safe haven, which is also why these sentiments here, I am not too worried about what it's going to mean for crypto. The institutional sentiment, the documents they're publishing to their investors, to their wealthy clients, they're saying that crypto is still a golden opportunity right now. And there's effectively nothing that can stop this bull market from happening. And we are just one major catalyst away from seeing the next major move upwards. This is obviously not ideal, but it's not a cause for concern either. And the reason we've seen a pump as of recently, as of late, as of today, is because Trump media announced a $2.5 billion Bitcoin treasury deal. We can see here, Trump Media and Technology Group Corp says here that they're going to be adding $2.5 billion, which is a very, very big deal here. One of the largest Bitcoin treasury deals of any public company. So that's why the markets have held up quite well today. We have just received again, it's held up well, and ultimately we're seeing Bitcoin right now still trading above this level of support now, around the 109k, which was the previous all-time high back here in January. And if we can hold that, be very, very good. Ultimately, for me, my eyes are very much on Friday. I think we may very well see Bitcoin trade sideways for the next few days, provided we get no, sudden outbreaks in developments, like again, headline news from tariffs and whatnot. Bitcoin will trade sideways until Friday, and then the PCE data will come out, and depending on what's announced, that will give investor confidence or worry about the market conditions, the economic conditions, therefore where Bitcoin's going to go. Fundamentally, Bitcoin's still going to go up in the long term, but in the immediate short term, we'll have to wait and see. I'll come back round full circle to some more macro developments and market analysis, but of course, we are here for the other developments, the bullish developments, the FOMO, if you will, and also the Casper price action as well. So right now, Casper's currently up 0.91% on the daily time frame. Ethereum's up almost 5%, which is very, very good. So it looks like alts might be gearing up for that next major move, which will be huge. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is still extremely high. But it has come down quite a bit today because Bitcoin's not really moving. Ethereum is running a lot. So in that regard, we may see altcoins have another miniature rally. Again, I don't think we are remotely close to altcoin season. I think we've still got a few more months from that. Maybe not even until Q4. Who knows? Again, we'll have to play it by ear and wait and see. But I think we may potentially see maybe in the next few days, again, leading up to PCE on Friday, we see dominance falls off. Ethereum start to make a rally again. And then we'll see, hopefully, some reassuring news that sends Bitcoin higher, dominance back up again. But crypto and alt should hopefully follow in suit, with Bitcoin trying to push to the next major level for price discovery, effectively. Casper right now, again, not moving much right now, but it's still holding this critical level of support around the 10 to 10.3 cents again. And if you once more draw out fib retracement, you could draw it from the recent, which shows you right now, this is again the golden pocket area we should be in trading at right now. So provided we hold that, it's a very, very good sign. Equally, you could draw it on the longer term, since Casper made that absolute bottom and started that reverse bullish momentum right now. We could see again, we could see Casper again be touching. This is definitely a very key level of support. If not, then you've got the golden pocket. I think absolute worst case for me, Casper's going to come back down to around 9.2 here before. I'll be surprised if Casper comes below and forms a lower low. I think Casper's still in this bullish momentum right now, and I don't think, with what's coming up for Casper very soon, again, potential listings, smart contracts, literally days if not weeks away now, I think the sentiment is probably lackluster. Again, we're seeing the volume right now for Casper is a bit lackluster. It's only at 50 million, but it might be because buyers are biding their time for smart contract confirmation, and then they'll start hedging in like crazy. Buy the rumor, sell the news, if you will. 56.85 million, 24-hour trading volume, not the highest again, but we can see Gate 23%, MEXC 22%, Bybit 9.25%, BitGet 8.4%, LBank 10%, and Kraken at just below 2%. So again, it's been pretty much standard throughout looking at these distribution of volume, how much these exchanges are trading with. We want to see it higher. We want to see it with the big exchanges as well, but it's only a matter of time. Now, I've got some more important news. So yeah, of course, Trump's announcement about buying was the reason why Bitcoin managed to regain 110k. It's lost that slightly right now, but again, it's just off the cusp, and I think for the most part, we might just see some chopping sideways until Friday. We've got some other news here that I'll get into in a moment, but I will get into some Casper news firstly. But also before that, let's get into some of the questions because I'm sure you guys have a lot to ask. What's up, Ape Gaming Bro? Hope you're doing very, very well. Well, Ren Lambo. If I'm to hazard a guess right now, I'm assuming you'll see a big move in June. Going into June. I mean, again, if you look at the M2 money supply right now, once more, not the Bible, not an absolute, silver bullet, but it's a good indicator. And the M2 suggests right now that, we're seeing, it's still following. It's got 80 to 90% correlation to the price of Bitcoin. So we are seeing, Bitcoin kind of following in suit, having a slight pullback. We may see it, therefore, have this little dip here. Again, it depends how you line it. If you line it up like this, which again, could do line it up like this, then you can see Bitcoin, therefore, have this pullback, coming back down to 104, 105K, going into June, then going into mid-June, end of June, you then start seeing it go a lot higher. But I think, again, we're going to see some big moves in June, and alts, I'm hoping, especially if Ethereum continues the way it's doing, alts will also go parabolic, and Casper might go through its own cycle as well, based on their big developments and listings that are going to be coming up very soon as well. We Munya, not yet Weng Hong, but in due time. Welcome back, Greg, bro. Yo to you too. And welcome back again, Buffalo Theory. LB Crypto on the check-in. Love to have you back, brother. What's up, my man? You say go crazy if you don't say I'll go over $1. I mean, who knows? Again, if you think about it, $1 Casper is only a $26 billion market cap. That is not so high when you think about the fact that Solana made 80 billion, Cardano made 90 plus billion, almost 100 billion, Ethereum in its first cycle made 125 billion, AVAX made up 32 billion, so that's even higher then. So when you think about all these other projects that still made those massive multipliers and relatively high market caps for their first cycles, and Casper is currently sitting at just 2.7, which is critically undervalued, with so much incredible tech and good partnerships. Well, partnerships in the loose term, again, Casper's open source, not actual partnerships, but working with the right people who are working off their own back to try and spread Casper adoption. They've got good tech, and yeah, I mean, the things that were mainly lacking to help Casper's volume and price is the tier ones, and we have had confirmation that I showed in my video that I published literally earlier today, that the insiders, being Wolfie and Johnny, they have confirmed that listings are coming and listings are ready. We don't know exactly when, haven't got a timeline yet, but it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So Casper reaching $1, I'm not saying it's going to do that, but I'm not saying it's not impossible either. What's up, ObiWan Casper? Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. Great to have you back, my man. Have you looked into KTA? It's supposed to be better than Casper. It's already doing 10 million TPS. I have heard of KTA. I haven't looked into it in depth. I think I saw some people talking about Kita, and once more, again, it's kind of like the whole, is it actually legit, the 10 million TPS, which is nothing in the space has ever done 10 million TPS to my knowledge. So that is a crazy thing if that is true. Currently, it's got $343 million market cap. It's been around since the beginning, or been on CMC since March time, so it's quite a new project. Volume's at 10 million. 1 billion max supply. Circular supply right now is at 400 million. I'm not too well versed in the project. I mean, the chart looks pretty good. Had a very, very lackluster up until about May. So beginning of this month, and then since the beginning of this month, it then went through a massive, 4 or 5x in value. So it's done very well price-wise as of late. I don't know too much about it. Scalable and efficient solution, serves as a common ground for diverse payment networks. Native tokenization. It's something that is probably worth looking forward to, with a performance capacity of 10 million TPS and settlement times as low as 400 milliseconds. Keto is poised to revolutionize the blockchain landscape by offering unprecedented performance and utility. I will have another look into it. I'll have a look into it, I should say, not another look. I've not looked into it properly. I'll have a look into it and see what I can find out about it. My only reason why I'm a bit on the side of caution for the last project that I heard that claimed, stupidly high TPS was Cubic, and the TPS is one thing when you're showcasing, the TPS that it can handle, and as opposed to what it actually does. I'm not getting my words out correctly, but ultimately the Cubic thing where it's showcased, you even had Certic, an auditor who confirmed that it was legit, but the way they actually defined what TPS meant was not how we view TPS. Which I'm sure somebody can get my words out properly in the comments because they know what I'm talking about. ETH get a big percentage of this mini pump of today, and it may be a good trickle down. I mean, yeah, again, Ethereum being the altcoin indicator right now is doing very, very well. You're seeing Sui doing very well, which is, and I'm going to explain why in a moment, actually, why it's doing well. And it's because Sui, again, I'll show you in a few minutes, but it's somewhat surprising and also somewhat not. They have VCs, they're keeping the project up, but of course, you can't say that there has not been a lack of belief in a sense with Sui after their recent hack. The hack in itself is not so much the problem, it's more so the fact that it's how they reacted was probably necessary, but because it's the fact that it's meant to be a decentralized exchange, a DEX, their CETUS DEX, that got, it's just evidently not DEX only in name. So, which actually, I'll get into the reason why Sui is pumping today. But I mean, yeah, ultimately Ethereum is doing quite well right now, which is great, and hopefully that'll trickle down into the alts as well. Hopefully Casper as well. You're seeing some alts doing very well. Mirror's up 16%, which is quite crazy. But yeah, if you look into this right now, we can go and check this post out here. Woo Blockchain highlights that CETUS has stated that if the community vote passes and the locked funds are successfully released, it will use its cash and token reserves along with a loan from the Sui Foundation to fully compensate all affected users. Regardless of the vote outcome, the compensation process will begin after the vote with a detailed plan to be announced. Now, of course, two sides of the same coin. It's a good thing, they're compensating the community who got affected. I'm always going to respect that because it's always frustrating when you're putting your faith into something, and that faith you put into something, a protocol, a project, and due to their inability to provide the services they wanted to say they do, you've been held liable for it. You've been, hit hard with it. So them compensating, I think, is the least they can do, and it's a good thing. But at the same time, it's once more just proof furthermore about how centralized this space is, and it's only decentralized in name. There's nothing decentralized about Sui in the slightest. CETUS got hacked, unfortunate. They froze the assets, good, but also then proving that the validators are centralized, so it can't be decentralized at all. Then compensating the users is good, but again, a loan from the Sui Foundation, all of that is all well and good, but it's just, again, I don't want to say, those who are lost sucks to suck, because my heart still go out to people who did get affected by it. Of course it does. I'm not inhumane, but it's just me trying to once more nitpick at the fact that Sui, while very quick, while has good infrastructure seemingly, while of course is definitely going to do very well this cycle, the VCs and the insiders are going to make sure it does well as well. For me, I don't think it has longevity. It will do well the cycle, so for me, I still hold it the cycle, and I plan to make my gains in the cycle, but I'll probably get fully out after the cycle, and I probably won't go into it ever again. Unlikely, at least, because again, their security elements and their decentralized nature is again just not efficient. It's not decentralized at all. It's not there really. So of course, therefore, it's my risk to reward. Right now, I'm willing to take the risk because I understand it's a new project, it's first cycle, so it will do very well, like the Solana of last cycle, if you will. But for me, after the cycle, there's little chance I'll be holding Sui after this, because again, for me, where the space is going to be going, I don't know how much longevity Sui has, especially if Casper comes out with, when Casper comes out with its native smart contract that will also allow it to bridge to the move language, which therefore means Sui as well. Sui will just eventually, inevitably, in my belief, Sui will start trading and bridging and using Casper as a layer 1 sequencer. All the Sui dApps will start using Casper as a layer 1 sequencer, because why wouldn't you? Casper's actually decentralized, is more secure because it's decentralized by the miner, so it's harder to hack into, and it's fair launch. And it's also quick. It's quicker than Sui. So for me, again, no brainer. But that's why Sui is pumping today, because again, that is for the most part bullish, and again, negating that negative sentiment from the hack. Still feeling the backlash from it, of course. But it's gooder. That's not English. It's better for Sui. But again, take that at your own risk. Right now, Casper again is doing very, very well. Welcome back, Wyatt, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. Binance is ready to list. Wolfie says that all they need is it's all what I need for sleeping with no stress. I hope to take one listing. I mean, yeah, that's again what I covered in my video literally a few hours ago, was that Wolfie had confirmed that Binance and OKX are ready to list, which actually I'll get into that here and now. So to start off some of the Casper content before I come back full circle, we got this post here from myself, which I was doing a little bit of research earlier, you know, as I do every single day, but I was doing some research into the listing element to make my video, and I discovered a few things, which is, of course, we know Wolfie said that Binance and OKX are going to be listing Casper, or at least they've already integrated Casper, so we know it's there. But it's not in their business strategy right now to actually issue a spot listing, which is frustrating. Again, we don't know what we're waiting for. But I do remember this post that I made back on March 12th when we saw, a leak to me by a community member, shout out to you if you remember who you are, who leaked to me this OKX.com website, you know, learn Casper hype, what's driving the Casper hype, this post here on OKX Exchange. I made a post about this, and you know, on the 12th of March, and it was removed, the page was removed within 24 hours, because I remember trying to check it the next day and it was gone, couldn't find it. Well, in doing my research earlier today, I found out that the page is now back again, which you can see here. So it even showcases right here, published on March 12th. So it showcases it was published then, but it was removed, and we can, those who've been in this space for a while can attest to that, knowing it was removed, because it was removed. Because I tried to check it and I couldn't find it. We can see here again the page from OKX website, which, you know, we can see if you look up here, OKX website. If I even click on that, we can see it's OKX website here. It's a Swedish element, but still OKX website here. So actual OKX website right now, and we can see, yeah, they're talking about Casper, you know, what's driving the hype behind it. You know, the simple element about what Casper is, when was it launched, which again, they still don't have the year known, which, I mean, it was launched at the peak of the last bull cycle. It was researched by DAG Labs, but it was actually launched in 21. The founders, who they are, which again, it still seems to be a kind of template more than actually anything in depth, which is, again, be that as it may, they talk about why it's trending, all the elements behind it, community support and whatnot, and they even then, for me, important about how to buy, trade, or sell Casper. They can say Casper is listed on several cryptocurrency exchanges, including OKX, once more acknowledging that Casper is available on OKX. Wolfie did confirm as well that for over a year, Casper has been integrated onto OKX, but there's no spot listing just yet. So, for the fact that they've seen, again, I'm not sure when this page was re-uploaded, but the fact that we are now seeing, once again, this page is up and running again, maybe, again, it's them preparing and actually providing a little bit of insight into the fact that we're going to be seeing the listing very, very soon. But I'll talk about that again because, again, we know Binance, we now know OKX. Coinbase, again, take a long time. We did also see at the beginning of this month, we saw crypto.com. You can see here the URL, crypto.com/English/how-to-buy/Casper. That is their website. This came out, I believe it was 7th of March. It was early March. Not early March, sorry, 7th of May. It was early May. Very, very early May we saw this. And, you know, it was all well and good. And then I made the post here saying, unfortunately and unsurprisingly, truth be told, it looks like crypto.com has removed the How to Buy Casper page from their website. Click on it, now sends you to Bitcoin. Click on that there. You see now, it's no longer How to Buy Casper, it's How to Buy Bitcoin. And if you scroll down all the way down here, you don't see the other assets it talks about. It doesn't mention Casper here at all. So why it's been removed, again, it's once more me just highlighting the seeming mistreatment from these major exchanges about Casper, where they're ignoring it and then not ignoring it and then ignoring it again. It's like playing a game of 4D chess right now, that seemingly I'm playing checkers. And none of us, for the most part, know what's going on. The only thing that we have a strong belief in is what they want to see is the right market conditions. They know of Casper. Evidently, they know of Casper. So that is some silver lining there, but they're waiting for the right market conditions. The market to be bullish, maybe following Bitcoin momentum, smart contracts maybe stablecoins coming on Casper, more adoption, higher volume again. The KEF confirmed they want to see higher volume with Casper. So maybe that's what they're waiting for as well. Again, 57 million is not a lot. It's barely anything. For a top 40 asset, that is ridiculously low. It should be higher. Of course, without major exchanges, of course it's lower. So what they're playing at, I don't know. And again, I highlight here that OKX have also been guilty of this in the past as well, but now they have actually added it back. So interesting. Very, very interesting. Will this mistreatment end once we get the release of smart contracts. But apparently, again, I'm still not sure whether it's going to be in a few days or a few weeks, because we saw Chris Kang and Oyson Lee and Casper all mention about how, you know, the eye emoji about it's going to be coming out this month. They haven't necessarily announced what, but we could speculate it's going to be the Casplex public testnet and or smart contracts going to be coming out this month. But they've posted that yesterday. So does that therefore mean this month, meaning before the end of May, therefore meaning in 4 days' time? We got until Saturday, therefore, or Sunday being the 1st of June, or does that mean they did it preemptively and actually going to mean next month? So we've got 30 days plus. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I'm hopeful it's going to be the former, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see right now. But again, we're seeing a lot of big things coming for Casper right now. In some very interesting, we did see recently the KRI made a post regarding the leaks of their ZETEX exchange, which is very cool. And again, that'll be hopefully more operational and kind of running with the enterprise clients with smart contracts being built and released on Casper. We can see here, they just released earlier today that Envy is representing the KRI and Casper at the Ethereum Prague conference, which is also very, very cool. And this is, you know, again, more data for Casper, which is great to hear. And she does actually mention these are the sort of institutions who are available, who are attending right now: Polkadot, Kraken, Google Cloud, you know, PWN. You've got some very big companies here. Ernst & Young, which, to remind you, PwC, who's, you know, one of the big, Ernst & Young and PwC are two of the big four, and PwC are also in partnership with DI Desert Energy, KRI therefore. You've got BNB Chain, you've got Wired, you know, you've got many, many big names who are there, and probably a lot more that I've glossed over whilst I'm just briefly looking through this. And she also mentions here that today she got asked if blockchain and crypto could survive a blackout, so no electric grid or no internet connection, and her immediate answer, as it should be, is yes, it could do. Not on a massive scale, but in a much more important role. The future is resilience, and crypto could do that, but more so Casper with Dagnite could do that. Most cryptos would struggle. They'd survive it, but they'd have issues and complications. Dagnite has taken into account for that. Dagnite is internet chaos resistant. So again, the sort of adoption we're going to start seeing coming through hopefully very, very soon, I'm excited for. There is a little bit of FUD, not major, I don't think, regarding this stuff. Of course, this post here, you saw Johnny made a post here saying, great that you had a good time at the conference, though I'm not sure about the meaning of the fourth picture, because there's no Casper there seemingly, which is a fair comment. And it looks like Johnny has now actually had his first ever block on Twitter, which apparently was from the KII, which is interesting. Now, I've not been blocked, thankfully, but Johnny's been blocked here, so I'm not sure what's actually going on there. Maybe there was a lack of communication or something. I don't exactly know, because I don't see what would have caused that block per se. But hey, it's happened. Hopefully that'll be a temporary thing and it'll come back, because I don't see why there'd be any need for bad blood or anything like that. But either way, that is I wouldn't say it's so much FUD or negative news, but it's just weird why it's happening. Not the end of the world, though. We have seen Johnny and the KRI converse in the past, talking about the SEC Crypto Task Force, and the KRI is going to be meeting with the agency, and other matters as well. So again, I don't see why there would be a bad relationship, and I don't think that is warranted of a block. But again, what do I know? I'm just a internet funny man. And in another news as well, before I get some more questions, really, we've got this post here from CoinPal, again, a venture of the KEF, so kind of Casplex therefore. The magic of Casper, and now you felt it too. Thrilled to see Casper steadily powering real crypto utility. New Amazon regions, Indonesian gift cards are now live, all based on community feedback. So we can see here, IGV.com, truly amazed by Casper passion. No other community has this energy and strength. We've been listening closely, and we've added new Amazon regions and new gift cards for Indonesia. You can see here, of course, with IGV, you can, buy these gift vouchers with crypto, and seemingly the one that we've seen in the past that has the most use case for this is Casper. More than Tether, more than Bitcoin, more than Circle, more than Ethereum, more than BNB. Casper by quite a large margin as well has the most use case for peer-to-peer currencies right now, and that is still early doors, without only 10 BPS. That's still without Diagonal, still without smart contracts, all the sort of stuff that will elevate Casper to a higher pedestal, give it more adoption, more utility, more use case. So this is again the future we envision for Casper, of being this future currency, what Bitcoin's meant to be, adhering to Satoshi Nakamoto's original vision, which is very, very cool. So once more, why I'm not worried about Casper's price and how low it's been for so long. I get it's frustrating, of course it's very frustrating, and tier 1s and other listings also mistreating Casper. Very frustrating. Market makers not really making themselves known very much. So Marathon selling off Casper. There's so much like bigger powers who have seemingly just been ignoring Casper, and it's because it's fair launch. They have to go out of their own back to really scoop up Casper, and it's not in their ideology to do so because they're used to just being paid to do it. But they aren't going to miss Casper, and they are going to list Casper, and they are going to take note and advantage of Casper. They are still taking note of it right now. That's why they're listing it. That's why they're using it. That's why they're mining it, because they do believe that Casper has some use case and some potential to make money, and we'll see that come to fruition very soon. Now I'm going to get some of the questions real quick before we get to more of the announcements here. It's a base chain, it's Ethereum, it's not a layer 1, and it's not secure. Okay, that's in response to this project here, this KTA. So apparently it is, according to Crypto, it's a base chain on Ethereum, so it's not a layer 1 and it's not secure. Well, in that case, then, I mean, yeah, it could be something just to take into account, right? Once more, always do your own research, even with Crypto saying that, again, that's a good insight, but equally, I'll have to do my own research to fully understand more about KTA. But again, if it is not a base layer, then again, that is, once more, understand it's not secure. Layer 2s have their shortcomings. So excited for tier 1s and smart contracts. Thanks for the consistent updates and market analysis QC. You're very welcome, Nathan, man. I hope you enjoy the content every single day. And yeah, I'm equally very excited. I'm very, very excited. And equally, the information that, shameless plug, I know, but the information that I cover in my VIP group gets me even more excited. You know, again, this document is one of many that we covered here. Institutional analysis of what's coming into the market, why we are expected to see a big move soon, and what therefore that can mean for Casper. We can correlate this stuff here to Casper as well, which we have done already in our VIP group. So if you want to find out a lot more, stay ahead of the game through trade alerts that we've been posting in there, educational videos, the alpha information, weekly live streams, and of course much more. We'll be hopefully dropping some more alpha information there to get ahead of more so as well. 7-day free trial, wop.com/coinfactory down below in the description, and also on the homepage here as well. KTA had a crazy pump. Yeah, I know, 4-5x in a span of what, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Very insane pump. So, you know, gotta respect that. But once more, keep in mind if there's VC backers and whatnot, then pumping to make it look good is always. I mean, think about A0 for example. Again, apologies to anyone who was A0 holder, but A0 for example also had an incredible, you know, it also came down recently, but it did, you know, very well at one point, have a very, very nice pump here. When it came down here, it had a very nice pump, and then it just came down drastically. Came down quite a lot. Actually, that was when the rug happened, wasn't it? No, I apologize, not then. I meant a little bit. I meant around here. I meant earlier. It had a very nice pump that just kept coming down more and more steadily, and then it got rugged. So it's just once more highlighting again that you might see a project that does really, really well market-wise, and again, that's fantastic. Of course, it incentivizes you to want to get into, but make sure you know what you're holding. You know, for me, I saw Sui, for example. I saw Sui way back here. And I was like, not so sure about it, because I thought the whole VC backing element, the stuff, I didn't trust it. And I still, again, I think it's, I mean, my narrative has slightly changed from that now. I think it's going to be a good investment this cycle. Don't necessarily trust it still. Saw it come back down, and then didn't get into Sui until this pump happened here. I could have got in down here, technically speaking, but I ignored it. I got in here, which I mean, still, you know, up quite well from Sui, so I'm not upset by it in the slightest. And it's going to go up a lot higher the cycle as well, but it's understanding, you know, don't just chase candles, understand what you're holding. Once I realized Sui came down, I saw this pump happening, I looked more into it before I started scooping some up. And also I had some mates of mine who are Sui holders give me a breakdown on what it is as well. and show me the information of where to look. So I don't just trust people blindly. Do your own research. I saw that Whale James Wynn got liquidated today. I had not seen that actually, but I mean that is quite good news because he's one of the big whales. He's been trying to. People have been following him quite closely right now to judge where the market's going to be going. So him getting liquidated is a very, very good thing, I think. I mean, not good for him, but good for maybe the market movement. I hope Sui is the mantra too. I mean, I don't hope any project goes to zero because I don't want people to lose their money. I know what you mean though. Yeah, I mean, I do hope people wake up to seeing that Sui is, again, a ticking time bomb. I think every project in this space fundamentally is a ticking time bomb that's eventually going to go off. Casper, though, they've currently taken the fuse away and it can't explode right now. It's just going to keep stacking more and more. And all believers will eventually go to Casper, I agree. I have a good question. Do we know if Somplinsky holds any Casper and what amount? No, we do not know. I think we had some form of information from Shai that all the DAG Lab employees back then, so Somplinsky included, did get paid a check from DAG Labs in Casper, and a lot of them sold around 16 cents. Shai did not, but I think most of them did sell around 16 cents. I don't know how much Somplinsky is holding though. Did you see Alex Crypto Dubai say Casper smart contracts is dropping in 3 days? Yes. So, I mean, I didn't see that post, but the reason why he's saying that is because of this. The reason he's saying that is because of these posts here. So, Oyson Lee, eye emojis, Chris Kang eye emojis, Casplex this month, of course, is referring to either the smart contracts or it's going to be the public testnet for Casplex, either or. But the point being is, Chris Kang, who is the Casplex co-founder, retweeting that with eye emojis, highlighting, creating community sentiment, saying that we're going to see something this month, right? The point being is, though, he's made this post on the 26th of May, which was on Monday, yesterday. So we would have 6 days left of the month. So does that therefore mean that Chris Kang jumped the gun and instead it's too early, meaning it's going to come out next month in June? Or does it actually mean this month in May, therefore meaning we've got 6 days, therefore 3, 4, 5 days now left until we see the next big release smart contracts for Casplex for Casper? So his source there is effectively the way it is here, which again, it's a lot of uncertainty, right? Because it makes sense that it would be this month in May, therefore in the next few days. But again, until we see the actual release of it and the announcement, it's just a rumor. I'm playing more conservative. For me, I am convinced it will be before Q3. That much I do know. So it's going to be definitely the next 30 days. Will it be as soon as 5, 4? Who knows? What's up, Mr. Miles? Second. Well, that's a rare occurrence. Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. What the absolute hell? What have I missed? Again, I didn't look at question for a very, very long time, so I'm not sure what that is referring to. What's up, DD bro? You're doing very, very well. I had a tooth pull today. Ooh, the tooth fairy will be here soon. I'll ask to increase the price of Casper. Yeah, please do. Yeah, the tooth fairy is going to hopefully bless us all with her magic, or his magic powers. You never know these days. There's clearly suppression going on with Casper. It's highly unusual for so many top exchanges to tease listing Casper just to pull out last minute. I agree. I think there's definitely a conjoint effort going around from these big tier ones that are trying to, hint at Casper but not actually doing anything. Binance and OKX have been ready for over a year, which is crazy. Coinbase, they're doing their own thing. Crypto.com made a post and now removed it, but if they're going to follow OKX, they're going to upload it again very, very soon, most likely. So again, it is something weird going on, but at the same time, I don't think they can stop Casper. Casper, realistically, I think will do well regardless of it. Of course, it'd be better if it had these listings because it could go even higher than we expect, therefore. But I still think it'll do well regardless because of these developments. Welcome back, Rosario. Managed very, very well. Have a great day so far, hopefully. It's almost as if these exchanges are going to list it, then someone interferes to stopping it. I'm not saying it's happening, but it sure feels like it. I mean, I understand the sentiment, yeah. Definitely something fishy is going on, but girls, don't be emotional, be logical. They're showcasing interest. They're going to come in due time. And when it comes, we're going to be laughing at all this with Freddy Casper. Well, I won't be because it's not what I do, but I'll be very happy that Casper's going up at least. Casper is king, indeed, Ivan. Indeed, Ivan, yeah, Casper is definitely king. I don't buy the right conditions or volume arguments. I do. I do think there's definitely something you know, again, fishy going on, but I do believe that there are elements of that. The reason why I do agree with your sentiment a little bit, because, you know, if Coinbase, not Coinbase, if Binance has been ready for over a year, if OKX been ready for over a year, and they've made constant, well, OKX not so much, but Binance made constant leaks about, you know, listing Casper over a year, you're therefore looking at May. You're looking back here, therefore. So why did not Binance not list up here then? When the markets were still very, very good, and Casper was also at the highest it's been, and the volume was extremely high back then. Why they not, or even then, why not round here? Or why not round here? But at these moments in time here, the volume for Casper was around 600 million. It was really, really high. So why didn't you list then? Now, I could argue this here, the market was in a downtrend, or, well, Casper was in a downtrend. The market was still actually doing well from there. The market went to a downtrend when Trump took office. And then, of course, made a recovery since then. But, you know, Binance had a lot of time to list. So why Binance did not do that, I don't know. But for me, they are going to list in the cycle. And I'd like to hazard before Q4, the worst case. So I think we'll see it in the next few months. Maybe sooner than we think again, if these smart contracts generate a lot more adoption. Doing a stream every day until Casper hits all-time highs. That would be an absolute journey, wouldn't it be? Casper hits all-time highs, and I'm like, don't worry, guys, I'm going to be here for 1 year straight, making sure that you guys don't get too emotional, and then I leave straight away when it hits all-time highs. That would be crazy. No, I'm going to be here indefinitely, at least for the time being. I have no reason to leave right now. I enjoy it here. Broke on base. Yeah, I have been seeing you, Nehal, talking about that as well. Broke. See me have a very, very big move right now. If I load this up real quick. See, Broke right now is doing a nice little move here. Been doing very, very well since its launch. We'll see how high it goes from here. Been doing very, very well, Broke. You can see the base chain symbol right next to the contract address, lol. Oh, right, you are so right. Yeah, I can see that here. Of course I can. Yeah, you know what, man? It's been one of the, again, it's been a long day for me. I apologize. It's all I could do is apologize for that. That is so poor of me. That's making me like a noob as well. Of course you can. Yeah, it's on the base chain. So yeah. I swapped my Ondu for PRCL. Not heard of PRCL. That is interesting decision. $45 million market cap. Down 82% from all-time highs. 10 million volume. Listings on Coinbase, OKX. I've got big listings at least. I mean, it's got more than Casper. Switching from Ondu to, I mean, again, I don't know what Parcel's about, so I cannot speak to it. I mean, I can see the allocation here. 21 to core contributors, early support and advisors, community in reserve. That's what it's saying there, in reserve. Okay. So, quite a lot to the insiders. That is actually 49% to the core contributors and early supporters, and then some reserves as well. So I mean, again, each their own. If you think it's a good project, man, I hope it pans out well for you. 90% community sentiment as well is quite high. Decentralized exchange that allows users to get long or short exposure to real world real estate prices via a decentralized exchange. I mean, real estate is going to be a very, very big factor coming to crypto, so that is reassuring. But I mean, I don't know too much about Parcel either way. The price has not looked that good. It came out last year on CMC in April, so it's been about for over a year. I mean, maybe you know something I don't. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, Ondu, of course. I think Ondu. I mean, they've got connections to BlackRock. I think Ondu is going to do very, very well this cycle. I don't hold any Ondu actually, although I do plan to scoop some up probably in the near future alongside some other ones. But I think Ondu is going to do very, very well this cycle because of their connections and who they're working with as a big project. I'm not so much sure about Parcel, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. KTA also literally uses base scan. Yeah, I saw that there. So yeah, that's definitely my noobness coming through. This cycle is so strange. I agree. The cycle is very strange. It's a different cycle entirely. Institutions being here has helped crypto go up high, but also made alts look a lot less appealing. But again, I think like every other cycle, crypto will have its time, Bitcoin will have its time, alt will have its time, Casper will also have its time. Pull back on Zbeck, guys. Keep chasing pumps and DCA and hold out, hold on for always win. I mean, yeah, again, hold on for dear life. Strategy tends to always win as long as you know not to just try and time the tops, and you also know to take profits as well. It's I wouldn't say surefire way to make money, because again, nothing's surefire. There's always risk. Do your own research, your discussion, but I think, yeah, right now we are in a good position. This is the first cycle we've had truly big money in this. I mean, exactly, yeah, that's also what I think. It's the first cycle we've had truly institutional capital coming in. You've had whales before, and you have actual trillion-dollar companies coming in. That's a very big deal. So I might have missed, how do you connect a smart contract to a Casper coin? It's a layer 1.5 or layer 2, so it's kind of just so you have to write the script for the contract or then link it to the coin. Let me just quickly go through my notes and find out what it is. Whilst I actually go through a question, we also have KYC 20 and native Kas Kaspa. It has many smart contract features, but not just smart contract. Very true. But with native smart contract coming out, most of these KYC 20s will be upgraded to smart contracts as well. So I mean, I'd imagine that for you to make a coin into a smart contract. I mean, again, people please correct me if I'm wrong. But I imagine to connect a smart contract to a Capricorn to make a coin to a smart contract effectively, you have to basically connect it to the layer 2. That can execute smart contract. Of course, in Casper's case, a layer 1.5. So you just basically, in effect, yeah, you basically have Casper that would act as a fuel for smart contract operations, and you connect your coin or whatever it may be, your project, to the execution element of the smart contract, which would be the layer 1.5, if that even makes sense. This Casper, so if the coin is transferred, then the script gets executed. I believe so, yes. This Casper listing, no listing, and articles up and down is more unstable than ownership. I mean, I feel that, honestly. Did you take more on Zeller swaps first Dex Casper legit or not for you? I haven't looked. I looked a little bit more into them. I'm still unsure right now. Right now, I am more inclined to still want to use Casper.com as opposed to anything else right now, just because I have familiarity with them and I do trust the team behind them. I quote unquote know the team behind them. I don't know them personally, but they've been in the community for a long time. They've helped build it up. They've been very, very advocates of Casper for a while, so I'd more trust Casper.com as a trading platform. Nothing against Zealous. I just haven't personally been in contact with them that much. Maybe they'll do it right. Again, I think we'll have to wait to see. It's hard to find out more before they are, we can see how they actually function on smart contract on the layer 2s when they come out again seemingly soon. To the moon, love Casper, as do we all, Rosario, in due time. I think before Casper was at high volume for trading, not for tech, but some easy chart trade sale. I mean, potentially, yeah. I think Casper, the reason for Casper had a high volume or not, it definitely has some manipulation, but again, I think we'll see that hopefully change in the future, and we'll hopefully see that volume go up again following smart contracts and stablecoin adoption. Yeah, it's just crazy. Are XRP good? I mean, each their own. I hold XRP. Again, they've got Ripple, the company behind them, so they're not technically decentralized, although I did see a post earlier today where the CTO of Ripple, David Schwartz, was advocating that XRP ledger is actually decentralized. I'm like, I mean, is it though? Because Ripple, the company, is centralized by who backs XRP, so by nature is not decentralized. Again, it's only by name. XRP will do well this cycle. I'm seeing even Bitcoin maxis saying it's going to reach $8 a cycle, maybe from 10, which I think is possible. But again, it's your risk to reward looking into XRP or anything in this space. You've got to understand that. AHI will be a great short at the end of the cycle. No idea what that is. No idea what that is. I'll have a quick look, shall we? Don't even know what that is. Okay, well, fair enough. I'll take your word for it. Unless you're saying high and Casper will be a great short for the end of the cycle, which, I mean, maybe it will be. Sorry, Sui. Oh, right, Sui. There you go. Okay, Sui will be a great short for the cycle. Yeah, I mean, it's tough though. It's very tough because, again, it's hard to really determine how organic and how a project's going to move when you've got insiders and VCs who have vested interest in the project, whether it's to make money or to keep the project up. Again, who knows? I know Raoul Powell, who, you know, he's quite a knowledgeable individual. I know he's an insider to Sui as well, and he may want to keep it up, or he may sell completely at the cycle top, and therefore it will come down easily. So maybe it could be a good short. Again, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a volatile time at the end of the cycle, no doubt. What's up, Capital Bull Run? I suspect Bitcoin Maxi, the Ethereum Foundation, and Solana Foundation is secretly pressuring or paying these exchanges to delay capital listing and crypto influencers to spread fraud and misinformation. Not a bad conspiracy theory. I'm not going to confirm those nine because I can't say for myself either. End of the day, it doesn't bother me either way they are fighting it or not, or ignoring it or not, because they won't be able to ignore it for long. My theory is maybe the bear market will not be as bad as people think. Like crypto now is like politics in every country, and every country wants it and try to buy all of it, like Bitcoin for reserve of gold. Yes, I do also agree the bear market may not be as bad as we think, based on institutional sentiment. Did you get a tangent ring? No, I have not got a tangent ring, but I may look to get one in the future. You lock up Casper into smart contract scripts just like any other smart contract, but it's using another layer to do so. Get ChatGPT Ultra for $20 a month. It will tell you everything you need to know, and you can even write code in Rust for you. Well, there you go. Again, Cryptony, legend for that. Thank you very much, brother. Welcome back, Don Carlos, man. You're doing very, very well, brother. If you look at the Casper chart with 100% analyst technique and no macro tech, what can you say? Don't know. Because my analysis comes from fundamentals and macro combined. So, I mean, Casper right now, it looks still forming a bit of structure, still fine. So, Casper, I think, again, is going to hopefully see the next leg up very soon. Do we still blame Casper price on Mexi manipulation? I mean, people do. There's still an account that's got like over 1,000 followers who's dedicated his whole page to exposing Mexi, manipulating Casper, and at the same time, like, while it's possible or while it's seemingly likely, at the same time, I'll talk about it, but I also don't care. And I say that in the nicest way possible. The reason why I don't care is because I don't trade Casper. If I traded Casper, I would be pissed off. Of course I would be, because I'm trying to capitalize on moves and Mexi's making it hard for me to try and predict what's going to happen. Again, that's the risk with crypto. It's not just Casper. Every project in this space got manipulation. Different platforms, they all got manipulation. So again, it's your own risk. Be very careful to your discretion. But as I'm just holding Casper, I do trade other projects, of course, and again, we do trading in the VIP group once more, so you can find out more here. Links are below in the description on the homepage, but as I don't trade Casper, I don't particularly get affected by the Mexi stuff. You have a tangent card, tangent ring, what's next tangent plug? That would be crazy. Absolutely crazy. What do you eat? Can of tuna or caviar? I don't like tuna, and I have not tried caviar. Actually, I don't mind tuna in a stew. If it's a straight tuna, then no. And I've not tried caviar, so can't answer that, brother. Can't answer that indeed. But that being said, though, that'll be for today's Casper and Crypto Live. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, share, subscribe for more. If you've not watched the video yet, then I highly recommend doing so. Again, giving a formatted breakdown on what is coming, potential listings on the horizon and whatnot. If you want to learn more about crypto and other market sense and whatnot, then come check out the VIP in more in-depth analysis, or equally just join the free community there. And if you want to have extra benefits and have an extra head start with trading, you can check out the link down below with BYDFI as well. Leave a like, share, subscribe for more. Have a great day, evening, good night, my family, my peoples, and I will see